gentlemen, aloha, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to my little piece of paradise I call the Lonestar Hawaiian garage. We have all new behind me Paradise Cove with no vacancy. Guys, welcome to the channel, the all new 2017 Camaro ZL1. This thing is an absolute monster, has been my dream car. As I first saw this thing unveiled, and I cannot believe that it's physically sitting in my garage. For those of you who are new, definitely go check out the last few videos. I had the chance to fly all the way out to Virginia, Northern Virginia, and drive this monster home. It had only 2,000 miles when I bought it and drove it over 1,500 miles home. I had a chance to do that with my dad. That was an absolute dream ride. It's amazing what they've done, the feat of engineering that this thing truly is, how tame, how easy it is to drive, how comfortable it is. But then when you want to open up the taps, there's very little vehicles on the road today that can keep up. I always dreamed, I never thought I would actually have this car alongside other amazing Chevrolet vehicles. So yes, we have three amazing Chevrolet vehicles in the Lonestar Hawaiian garage, which is highly likely to start being called Hale Bowtie. Yes, for those of you that are new, I am in fact Hawaiian, and Hale in Hawaiian is a house or building or home. So Hale Bowtie, Bowtie being Chevrolet, that makes sense enough. I don't know, we'll see if that sticks. What do you guys think? Welcome to Hale Bowtie, Hale Bowtie, Hale Bowtie, Hale Bowtie, to the bowtie, to the bowtie, Hale Bowtie. Welcome to the Hale Bowtie. I don't know if it has a ring, but let me know in the comments below. It's been a crazy week, but it's finally warm enough to get this thing out here and actually get it clean. So step number one today's video is gonna be the first detail. And then the second part, we're gonna take a deep dive. Why it took me over 6 months to find this car. Without further ado, guys, here is a cold start 8-cylinder symphony of the LT4 6.2 liter supercharged V8. Good morning, guys. It's not the same day as the last clip, as all my videos go. I have yet to figure out how to finish a video within one day. Part of the fun having two wonderful kids, a wife, and a full-time job. Actually, 2 full-time jobs. But guys, I would be remiss if I didn't once again say thank you. I'm in a Camaro ZL1, 650 horsepower, 650 pound-feet of heart-thumping torque out of a stock car with a warranty. I've gone out in my garage, I don't know how many dozens of times, just basking in disbelief that this is my car. And the fact that we're back in a Camaro, yes, I just used the word back, because this isn't the first Camaro I've owned. And you guys don't know this, but Camaro actually means a little more to me than what you might think. This was not an impulse purchase, this was extremely planned out, and I've been planning on this for years. Never gets old. Now guys, this video is gonna be a little bit more of a vlog format. Most of my videos I try to, create something with my hands and bring you guys along for the ride. This one's gonna be a little more of a traditional vlog style because we have a lot to go over. Now we will do a deep dive into this particular model, why it took so long to find. But in order to understand all of that, I really need to go back to the beginning because this isn't the first Camaro I've owned. Back when I was in college, I had my eyes set on an F-body Camaro. New 5th gen had just been unveiled. I didn't really love the 5th gen, but the F-body for some reason struck a special chord. My cousins growing up had WS6 Trans Ams, and that F-body platform was really special to me, but I'm more of a Chevy guy. And as you can imagine, college kids, in order to afford that car, I took on a summer job, and ironically enough, out in Northern Virginia. And even more ironic, right around the corner from where I bought this one, nearly a decade later. I spent an entire summer doing door-to-door summer sales. One of the most agonizing jobs, learned a lot, and made a decent amount of money. So I took that money back to Hawaii and got myself, finally at the time of my dream car, a 6-speed 1999 Camaro Z28. It had T-tops, it had that 6-speed transmission, the LS1 up front, and it was actually an SLP packaged car. But that wasn't the real special part. I took my wife on our first date in that car, and I think, if I'm remembering right, one of the first videos I ever uploaded on YouTube was of that first date experience, but wasn't about the date. It was about the trip and the drive and the sunrise and things like that. Flashing back here, it was a wonderful car. I loved it. But then again, you fast forward nearly a decade later, here I am in the top level trim of a Camaro, the Z28 and 99 to this 2017 ZL1. It's a whole world of difference. Jeez. We've come full circle. So as time went on, as you can imagine, graduated college, started my career, started off with a great company, kind of working a more of a blue collar approach type job, but I was fortunate just to get down gritty. I was able to promote multiple times throughout the first few years. And eventually that landed me back in Texas. I work out of our headquarters now in our marketing department. Now, working through my career obviously had nothing to do with cars. I was always very intrigued by the automotive industry, kept up and just kept watching these videos. In 2016, I saw the first glimpse of what this car was, the 2017 ZL1 trim level of the 6th generation Camaro. When the 6th generation came out, it really caught my eye. It's a beautiful update. And then the ZL1 came out. There's yet to be a more aggressive car ever made. It caught my eye and hit me on an emotional level to the point of me just being obsessed with it. As 2016 became 2017, I discovered YouTube. Yes, I had uploaded YouTube videos before, but never realized YouTube and automotive content, there was a lot there. I came across two particular channels, StreetSpeed717, at the time he was driving a Z06 Corvette, which I also liked, and then he had a buddy that he would do collaborations with, Guitarmageddon ZL1. So those two channels are truly the reason I have this car today, and it's kind of weird in that fact. Guitarmageddon ZL1 had just purchased his 6th gen ZL1 the same year as this. I watched every single one of those videos. I was obsessed with that car. But that YouTube channel made me discover, hey, you can actually make money on YouTube. At the time, I was kind of playing around with photography and cameras, and I was diving into a big Hawaii shore break, taking wave photos and selling those wave photos, and it was great, but there wasn't any money in it. So I figured I'm gonna give myself a try at this whole YouTube thing. So that's what started this, which led to this. All right, I'm gonna run inside, grab the oil for my 07, and I'll be right back. So we got the oil for the OG Silverado. We'll get that changed later today. And speaking of the OG, that was the start of the YouTube channel. Years ago, out in Waianae, Hawaii, I bought that truck for $10,000 cash. I'm not gonna ask about the history because I'm certain it has an interesting history. The truck's actually supposed to be silver, according to the VIN number. It's a blue truck. Here we are about 3.5 years later. We're about at 50,000 subscribers. Not a big channel by any means, but we're still growing. And I think part of the reason is I can't post as often as I really would like to. I work a full-time job. My wife works a full-time job. We have 2 wonderful kids. And with all of that mix, creating 1 video a week is a lot of work, and I'm happy to do it because I love doing it. But all those years of grinding, working, for promotions and moves, this is the motivation, guys. This is why. This is why we do it. Hooting and hollering. This car, guys. This is the motivation. This is why I work my tail off and try to make money. I have no idea where I was in the story, but if we just jump right back in with the Dodge Charger, we moved out to Texas. It was always a goal to have kind of a fun family car. At the time, we had 1 son, and my wife loved the styling of the Dodge Chargers. We got her an SRT Charger. We bought it secondhand. We bought it used. It had about 30,000 miles on it, and that thing did great for about a year. After a year, we had a second little boy come along. The second boy, my wife wanted something a little bit bigger. She was looking at Tahoes. I convinced her to get a Silverado, and the only Silverado she would want, if she went with the Silverado, was the LT Trail Boss, and that's what we got her, and that's what we got for the channel as well. But y'all love that truck. So when we got the Trail Boss, the SRT Charger was now mine. It was my daily driver. I love the car, love the power, love the sound, love the technology. It didn't have this. I wanted the manual transmission. There's something about a manual transmission that gives you a level of engagement and feeling you cannot get with an automatic. Automatics are faster, they're more efficient, they're easier to drive, they're more comfortable, but that's not what I wanted. Eventually, I decided to sell the SRT Charger because I had my eyes and goals set on this. Again, that car that had hit me emotionally so many years ago was still in the back of my mind as a dream car. So I decided to sell the Charger. Fortunately, found the right buyer at the right time, and was finally ready to pull the trigger on one of these, and then COVID happened. No! Now, when COVID escalated earlier this year, the secondhand used Camaros, the prices skyrocketed. You should have been able to get into this car, a lightly used, low mileage ZL1, for the low 50s, even high 40s. But when COVID really escalated, the production on new Camaros halted. There were no more 2021s coming off of the assembly line, so dealers started buying these back and trying to resell them. And what happened to the market? These jumped up $5,000 or $6,000, and it just killed me. It didn't make sense to throw extra money at this car just because of bad timing. So what I did, I waited. But the good news about that 6 months is I was actually able to kind of hunker down, save every dollar and cent I possibly could, and I bought this in cash. Waited to the right time for the right car in the right place with the right trim and the right mileage. And it appeared in Northern Virginia, of all places. Funny story, reversing all the way back to the beginning. I went out to Northern Virginia to make money so I could buy a Camaro. Took that whole summer savings, bought a 1999 Z28 Camaro. About a decade later, back to Northern Virginia to buy my absolute dream car, the 6th generation Camaro ZL1, right around the corner from where I was knocking doors to make money for my first Camaro. It's funny how things come around. How in the heck are we in late December and I'm in a short sleeve shirt and sweating? It is 70 degrees outside, but you can't tell because we closed the garage doors. If you do not know, if you are new, my arch nemesis in this garage is leaves. No matter what I do, my driveway, the way it's shaped in my neighborhood and wind, every single leaf from my neighborhood blows up my driveway, does this little circle thing, and then lands in my garage. So if I open those doors, I will have a truckload of leaves in here in about 5 seconds. But that's completely fine because this bad boy behind me exists today because of YouTube. And this YouTube channel exists today because of this car. I started this YouTube channel because of this car. The whole idea with this channel, which I've never said on this before, was if I can make enough money off of YouTube to cover a monthly payment on a Camaro ZL1, I could own my dream car. At the time, I was watching two channels kind of religiously, which was Guitar Mageddon ZL1 and Street Speed 717. Those cars, the Z06, the ZL1, I was completely obsessed with, and I started doing some digging. And I realized if I could just get a fraction of the views that they were getting, I could afford a monthly payment on a car like this. This was way outside my price range. This is way outside of reality. And that was the whole goal. That's why I started this channel. But obviously, as time goes on, things change, careers evolve, and I bought this thing in cash about 3.5 years later. It's insane that I own this car right now. So that's the backstory on why this channel exists. It's always been about this car. It's always been about this car, guys. This is the motivating factor. This is why week in and week out, regardless of how crazy my week is, I try and get a video out for you guys. It was because of this car. Also, on a side note, I just unloaded this out of the truck, picked this up yesterday, super excited about this, because I am fat and out of shape now. COVID has absolutely killed my fitness. I actually hurt myself the other week sitting down. It was so embarrassing, so pathetic. I said, that's the last straw. I'm creating my own gym. So this is the start to my gym. We got a few bumper plates. We got a wall rack that's gonna sit probably right over there behind the truck, but that's outside of everything we're doing. So that's coming soon over there. I love this car. I have loved it since the day I first saw it in 2016 on my phone. And then now from my phone, it's here behind me. So one more thing we need to cover before we close out is the name of this supercar killer. We need to name this car. We don't necessarily have names for a lot of the vehicles. We got the Trail Boss, we got the OG, but for this one, I do in fact want to give it a name. Now, I did put a post out a few weeks ago to give me some ideas on a name for this car. If you guys don't follow me yet, Lonestar Hawaiian on Instagram. Ideas you guys are providing, you guys did not disappoint. We got Mamba, we got Vader or Vulcan, we got Hawaiian Nightmare. We got this one, which I personally like, Pua'ihiva, which is Hawaiian for the black pig that eats small animals and shrubs. I kind of like that one. We got Reaper, we got Black Betty, Black Widow, Knight Rider. Got a lot of good suggestions there. So I want to see comments below, guys. What should we name our ZL1? This will be important going forward because this car is going to be in this garage for a very, very long time. The sky is the limit with this platform. This thing is bone stock outside of that RotoFab cold air intake. It's not gonna be the fastest drag racer in the world because it is a 6-speed manual. The A10s are faster, the automatics are faster than these, but these by far are more fun. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in for today's video. If you're excited as I am for the content coming up for the ZL1, please smash that like button below. Helps the channel out tremendously. If you haven't subscribed to the channel just yet, please join the Lonestar Hawaiian family below. But we will see you in a few days for our next video. Until then, y'all take care and aloha.